Welcome to Hello You. Yes, you. The podcast that opens up the full spectrum of mental health like never before. We're not here to skim the surface. We go deep into every corner of the human experience. From international athletes to high-powered CEOs, everyday heroes to global change makers. Our guests bring raw, real, and radically different perspective on what mental health really means. This is your space, a place for truth, stories, and connection. Whether you're thriving, surviving, or somewhere in between, we're here to remind you you're not alone. So pull up a chair, take a breath, and let's talk about the stuff that matters. Welcome to the most open, honest, and inclusive mental health conversation in the world. I'm your host, Dan Darwin, and welcome to Hello You. Hello You would like to thank our title sponsors, the Loss Prevention Department at Next PLC. And welcome to another episode of Hello You. And today I've got Duke Harrison Hunter with me. Duke, hello, good morning.
Hello Dan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yes. My name's Duke Harrison Hunter, and I am the founder of Ambassador for Change. I am a motivational keynote and TEDx speaker, so my role is to go into schools locally, wherever they want me really, and talk about the relative subjects like county lines, knife crime, serious youth violence, racism, and I'm also an equality, diversity and inclusion trainer for senior leaders.
Okay, and what took you into that line of work?
I've always been doing youth work since I was young, since I qualified when I was 16 in South London, and then I had a little break because of my behaviours, and then when I came to Portsmouth I decided to pick it back up again, re-qualified, and I was doing one-to-one mentoring, and I could see it. There was so many young people that needed help, and there weren't that many services out there to help young people on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah.
So I took that on. I had a massive caseload working in Southampton at the time, and it was just from there I thought we need to get these messages out to schools around what young people are going through and give a message of hope. So I decided to build Ambassador for Change.
Okay. Was this built off of life experience? Is this where it came from?
Yeah, my first one was built off life experience, my behaviours, consequences and resilience. So it's my behaviours and the consequences that I went through and how I turned it around. So that was my very, very first one, and that's still my most successful one to date. Okay. And then from there, the schools were looking for different topics like racism and things like that. So I continued to build more presentations.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your early life, Duke. What brought you into this? Because the lived experiences, and I deliver things through my lived experiences of my mental health issues, my suicide attempt. Yeah. So I use a lot of that and what I went through, and I had some stuff that happened in my childhood which shapes who we are. Yeah. So what's your experience? Where have you come from to be the person you are now?
Right, so I was brought up from early memory, South London, Plumstead, and my mum and dad were together at the time. My dad was a plasterer and my mum was a nurse. And I think what started was because my mum was a nurse, she was going to different hospitals, doing shift work, and my dad thought she was seeing somebody else. Okay. So it then created domestic violence within the house. So that was the first trauma that my brother and I would go through, hearing your mum screaming after your dad absolutely beating her, and we couldn't do anything about it. So it started from there, and then my mum left when I was 9 because she couldn't take it anymore. I did have a massive resentment with my mum for a long time because she didn't take myself or my brother, she just left. So I came home to a note on my bed saying that she couldn't take it no more. Okay, now I can see, fair enough, but I didn't look at it like that at the time. So she left us with this man. He was violent. We lived in fear. My brother and I lived in fear the whole time. We didn't want to go home. School was our safe place. Yeah. You know, he would beat us for no reason. He was a horrible, horrible man. And then I left home at 16.
So how old were you at that point? So you say your mum left at 9. When did the domestic stuff start? How old were you when you first had that witness?
It was just before that. It was, okay. Yeah, it was
so a young boy.
Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did brother older or younger?
My brother's 1 year younger than me.
Okay, so both of you young boys experiencing that together and then living in fear until you were 17?
Till I was 16, yeah.
Yeah.
I decided to leave. I just ran away.
Yeah.
And I couldn't take it no more. My brother stayed. I'm not sure why. But I went and lived with a friend up in Old Kent Road.
Yeah. So stayed in the London area then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I could do exactly what I wanted to do then, because I was under so much fear of getting things wrong. If the young man would come in and something was out of place, that'd be a reason to beat us. And he was a horrible man.
Yeah.
He wasn't a good role model. He wouldn't put his arm around us and say, "Oh, well done." He was so strict. It was unreal.
Right. Okay. So that obviously shaped a little bit of who you are heading into your teenage years.
Yeah.
Where did life take you next?
Well, from leaving there to move to Old Kent Road, funnily enough, the young person, my friend's house where I was staying, I ended up going out with his mum.
Okay.
I was 16 at the time, and she was 35.
Okay.
Back then.
Yeah.
And she had 4 kids. 2 was younger.
Yeah.
1 was the same age as me, and 1 was older.
Yeah.
And that went on for about 7 years. But
okay.
During that time, I started to do street robberies, and I found drugs.
Okay.
And drugs was the only thing that could suppress all of my feelings. Because I was on my own, didn't have nobody really, apart from the woman that I was seeing, but she wasn't like a role model or anything like that. So I just ended up stealing and robbing and taking drugs, selling drugs, gang behaviour. And then my mental health was spiralling out of control, but I didn't realise.
Yeah.
So back then, if you said to someone, "Oh, you've got mental health issues," they'd think you're crazy. Or, you need to go and see a counsellor. They think you got to be crazy to see a counsellor. But I never knew anything about mental health back then.
So what sort of era are we speaking about here? Where were we?
We're talking, so I was born in 63.
Okay.
So 17, 18 years later, 73, maybe 77, 78, something like that. Okay. Early 80s then.
Yeah. And for you, what was the scene like for you? You've fallen into that. And how do you deal with that as a young boy? You could still turn it into a man. Yeah.
So my daily routine was just getting up and going out and robbing people, basically. Because I was living in a house with my girlfriend, if you like. And I was best friends with her son. So we would just go out and earn money. He wasn't working. I wasn't working.
Right.
I didn't really like myself, so I didn't even know who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would just go out robbing and stealing to make money to buy drugs. And that was my daily routine. And I didn't know at the time that the drugs were affecting me. However, I was training to be a youth worker at the time, and I qualified. And I was so hypocritical at the time. That's where my head was. Do you remember Grange Hill?
Mm-hmm.
When they used to say, just say no to drugs.
Yeah, Zammo. Yeah.
Zammo.
Yeah.
So I was the youth worker saying to the young people, just say no to drugs, when I'm actually taking them myself.
Yeah.
And that's where it took me. And I was taking heroin, crack later on, alcohol, you name it, just to suppress how I was feeling. And again, I didn't know I was going through any type of mental trauma. Didn't know.
Yeah. And we're talking hardcore substances there, aren't we? We're not talking, anything low level. We're talking gone right to the top.
Yeah, straight away.
So we know now, with hindsight, how drugs affect our mental health in terms of long-term memory, short-term psychosis, stuff like that happens. Back then, it wasn't talked about. Mental health wasn't talked about, was it? I grew up in an era where we don't speak about that stuff, especially not as a man. That's not the done thing. Men don't cry. Boys don't cry. We suck it up. We get on with life. So I was very much brought up in that era too. So what support network did you have? Anything at all?
No support network at all. And again, like you've just mentioned, even with some black families, mental health is not mentioned. And if mental health is mentioned, they will try and deal with it themselves.
Okay.
Because back then, a lot of black families, whether they're African, Caribbean, Indian, whoever, didn't really trust white doctors
Oh, okay.
back then.
Yeah.
So they would deal with it in-house. And even though they would deal with it in-house, they didn't really understand what they were doing. They just thought, leave him indoors, shut him off, don't talk to anybody. That will help his mental health, because we didn't understand it. But after that, there was no support. I couldn't really go anywhere. Not that I was looking for any support, because I thought I was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everybody else that's messy. I thought I was all right because the drugs were fixing me, so to speak. And I only felt rough when I was coming down off drugs. And that would be the only time where I started thinking, oh, what am I doing? Is this going to work? Yeah, my head was just going mad. But until I took drugs, all of that gone.
Okay.
So it's like a high, low, every single day. High, low, high, low, high, low. And I didn't like the low. So in order to get rid of that feeling, I'll use to get back on that high again. And that went on for years.
So you're chasing it? You're chasing it every day?
I was chasing it for years, and then I ended up injecting it in the last probably 5 years of my using.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was on it for quite a long time.
And all that time you're still doing the youth mentoring, the youth work?
Yeah, I think I lasted 5 years in my job. And then because what had happened, I was going into work withdrawing.
Yeah.
Not realising I was withdrawing. I just had this constant cold. But I was withdrawing, Dan. Didn't realise until I called somebody one day and said, oh, you got a new dough, we can go. And he went, how you feeling? I said, yeah, I've got a cold. I've had this cold for a few days. He went, you're withdrawing. I goes, what are you talking about? He goes, you're clucking. I goes, no. Never had that feeling for years and years and years. And when I realised he's right, my habit just went nuts. And then I think I wasn't going into work. I wasn't turning up. I was late, or I was going in and I was totally out of it.
Because you weren't ready to come off the substances.
No.
So
not at that time,
you weren't going to withdraw. You wanted to.
Yeah.
And I can see that. Because at the time, and I've been in this period of not liking myself, hating who I am, probably not knowing who I was. Yeah. You just lost. And it sounds very similar, although I've never been down the route of the drugs like you. So that must have made it even harder to beat that addiction, as well as deal with what was going on in your head. Yeah.
Oh, every day I wanted to come off drugs.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Until I made money, then, I'll do it tomorrow. Next day, withdrawing, I want to come off, don't like this feeling. Something will happen, take drugs. And that went on for years, Dan.
Yeah.
Until one day, I think probably 15, 20 years of using, I was living I had a big fight with my girlfriend, and I had to come out of the house, flat that we shared.
Yeah.
And I was living in a trap house where they sell drugs.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how low I got. I'd lost. I'll tell you a quick story. I was using whilst I was with my girlfriend. I had a lovely car, lovely Golf V5. And the drug dealer kept on saying to me, Duke, do you want to sell your car? Duke, do you want to sell your car? And I was like, no. But that day came. I said, yeah, I want to sell my car. So I sold the car to him for $3,000. Back then, 15 years ago, it was quite big money. And then the $3,000 that he gave me, I spent with him.
Yeah. So he won both ways.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And after the $3,000 had finished, I'm on my toes, on my ones, walking and seeing my car drive up and down the street. Looking immaculate, by the way.
Yeah.
And after that, I thought, I had a fight with my girlfriend. I got arrested. I got done for common assault because my using was out of control.
Yeah.
I was drinking strong lager.
Okay.
Out of control, and she was a bit of a drinker as well. And then we would just fight. So I got done for common assault. Wasn't allowed back. Living in a trap house where they sell drugs. All these drug dealers, drug users sleep. It's just rough.
Yeah.
And I was working at the time. I was doing a part-time job in a pub called the Dirty South in Lee Green.
Okay.
Have you heard of a group called Alabama 3?
No.
I think they're the ones who wrote the song to The Sopranos.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And they used to come to our pub and perform.
Okay.
I ended up using with them for weeks and supplying them for weeks.
Right.
And my using just got out of control. So I went to the I got kicked out of the trap house because I couldn't stay there no more. Someone said, "Oh, I know where you can stay." Went and stayed at another house, and it was a squalor, absolute squalor. Then I started to think, what am I doing?
And how old are you at this point?
So this was 18 years ago, say 20, in my 40s, maybe 41, 42.
Okay, so it's been a long cycle that you've been going through this, because as the young boy who witnessed the domestics at 9 to moving out at 16, 17 years old and finding this life, you're then trapped in it for 23 years, 24 years.
Yeah.
So
and there was raving in between that. There was ecstasy, there was speed, there was cocaine, all in between of that for years and years. And it got to the point where I lost everything.
Okay.
Not realising my mental health was suffering. Still at that point, Dan.
Yeah.
Not putting two and two together, thinking it's my mental health.
Yeah.
And I was going through child trauma and abandonment issues.
Yeah.
Still had a resentment with my mum, even though I didn't see her for 23 years. I didn't see my mum.
Yeah.
And
if I ask you, at the height of it, when you got into that lifestyle, 16, 17 years old, how much were you spending on an average week on your drugs? And my other question is, we know crime was how you funded it. Do you ever look back now and feel remorse, or what's that feeling towards the victims of your crime back then?
Feelings. Wow, I do feel remorse.
Yeah.
I feel so sad that that the drugs got me to that point.
Yeah.
Where I'm robbing other people of their hard-earned money. But when you're in that space, Dan, you don't think of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Their money is your money, because you have to get money by any means necessary.
Okay. Yeah.
But I do feel remorseful about doing what I've done. I've done some horrible stuff. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, you know. Yeah. The only thing I haven't done is burglaries. I don't do burglaries.
Okay.
Point.
So, what level of violence were you using? Was it weapons involved? Was it?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes knives were involved. We would have dummy weapons involved, just to scare tactics, basically.
Yeah.
And during that time, I was selling drugs myself. I was county lines heavy. It wasn't called county lines back then, but it was county lines heavy.
Yeah.
Down the country, dropping off parcels, staying up there, making sure it's all done, coming back. I've done that for quite a while. Been kidnapped, I've been robbed, shot in my leg, beaten up. Yeah, so...
And this was part of that lifestyle?
Yeah.
And did you accept it as that was part of the lifestyle?
Did I accept it? I think I had to.
Yeah.
I had to, because sometimes your ego can take over.
Yeah.
Especially if you're making loads of money.
Yeah.
Your ego really can take over and you think you're untouchable, and then someone just come along and just put a knife in your neck and take everything off you, or kick your door off. I remember one day my front door came off and 4 buds came in and just robbed me and kidnapped me.
Yeah.
Yeah, demanding money with menacing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary. So it's those kind of things that can happen. And this is why I do what I do in my keynote speeches, talking about county lines, because it's not glamorous. I don't glamorise it at all. I talk about the consequences.
Yeah, and I think it is a big thing. Portsmouth is a major part of that county lines, and a certain area within Portsmouth is very, very fought over by different drug gangs. So it is still prominent now, but what we're seeing probably more is the runners that would be going all over the country are developing their own little networks, so they don't actually carry much risk. Yeah. They get to a town like Portsmouth and they'll have some 15, 16-year-old kids there to do their job for them, which eliminates their danger, so they get out of Portsmouth again, back up to London or wherever they are. But these kids are seeing it as, I'm earning £1,000 a week at 15 years old. Yeah. So they do see the glamour to it, don't they? Because they're all walking around in these fresh trainers, and everything else they've got. So how do we break that? How do we change that?
Well, I think by the schools having more people like myself coming in and talking to these young people on a regular basis. Yeah. No point me going to a school, talking about county lines and the consequence of it just once in the year. No. They're going to forget it by the time I've left the building. So we need to be doing this regularly, and that's where I'm at. I'm sort of stuck trying to get into the schools to talk about this stuff from a lived experience.
Yeah.
Because that works.
Yeah.
It really does work. But what these young people don't realise is that when it's going good, it's going good. But you make a mistake, you are in trouble. These guys are not your friends. These dealers are not your friends. You make a mistake, you're finished. If you lose the work or the food, you're finished. So they have a tactic. It's called debt bondage. So they put a young person in a flat, selling drugs. This young person's probably been missing 3 weeks. Parents don't even know where he is. He's getting all the money, thinking that he's big and all that. And the house is that he's living in a cocoon, which means,
Yeah, so you've got a vulnerable person that they've already taken advantage of and put these people in. So, you know, my previous of being a police officer, I've seen this. I've seen this where they come in and they take over that house. And before anyone realises and they get safeguarded in place, the gang have moved on. They've discovered another vulnerable person. They wipe that person for as much as they can. So by the time the police get a warrant together and can go down that path, they're gone on to their next target, aren't they? And using the next house for their base. So sorry, carry on with the debt bondage. So they'd put them in.
So once because you get some young people think, I can't do this anymore. I want to go home. Tell the dealer that they want to go home. Dealer goes, no, you're not going home. So what they do then is go back the next day. Masks on, bats, kick the door off, rob the young person of their own drugs. Scare the life out of him. Go away, knowing this young person's going to come to him. So got robbed. Not knowing it was him. Now he's in debt bondage. So he's got to stay to pay that money back. And they're doing that a lot to young people nowadays. And that's when I've known young people call the police on themselves. To get out of it.
Well, I think part of it we've got to look at sometimes, are they the vulnerable person themselves and they've just got caught in this cycle, or are they career criminals? Is that where they're heading, into that lifestyle of career criminal? For the first point, we've got to really treat children as children, and they're vulnerable, been sucked into this lifestyle. And certainly when they're into that debt bondage, like you say, is that what's their options? They leave and probably end up getting killed, or they stay in a life that they hate, but they have to because they're so scared of being killed. It's
sitting there wishing they never took it up in the first place.
And I can understand now why one visit to a school isn't enough, because, like you say, by the time that school bell's gone and they've gone down the road, all they're seeing is £1,000 again, not the constant of you saying, "This is where I've been. Look, this is where you could end up being shot, stabbed,
or in prison." Because a lot of them think they won't go to prison. So on one of my slides, I've got a picture of a famous prisoner in Woolwich. And the next slide is a picture of a cell. Bunk beds. That's what I say to them. This is where you'll be living if your behaviour continues. You're going to be living in this 9x6 with somebody you don't know. And that somebody might not even like you. And you're going to be in this space for 19 to 21 hours a day. Like that, their eyes open and think, if you carry on doing what you're doing, this is where you're going to be living.
And again, there's the ego, the bravado. I can do prison. It's fine. You know. They still just see that money there and then, don't they? But people don't realise what consequences are until they happen. So you're in this lifestyle, spending everything you earn up until into your 40s now. What happens next for you?
So I got to a point where I just had enough. I was living in squalor. Had enough, couldn't do it anymore. It was really, really hard trying to make a tenner. Every day I'm like, how am I going to make a tenner? How am I going to make And I went to the services to try and get support. Told him my plight. He basically turned around and said, there's no funding. I was like, okay then. He went, what are you going to do now then? I went, well, I'm going to leave here. I'm going to commit a kamikaze move, which means I'm going to go into a shop and grab everything that I can and run out. Hopefully I'll get arrested and I'll have somewhere to sleep tonight.
Okay.
He went, wait a minute. Went and got a telephone and got me to call a detox centre. If I'd never said that, I'd probably be either in a mental home under the ground or in prison.
You think the lifestyle would have carried on?
100%. 100%, because I came out there resentful. I would have come out there resentful, feel like, brr. So I got the phone, called the detox centre, and there's a process. still not knowing my mental health was absolutely up here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the driver. This is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still not realising it,
Yeah.
you know? So I managed to get into detox. 2-week rapid detox on methadone. But what they do after the 2 weeks, so they send you back home.
Mm. Yeah.
So I go back home. Everything I look in my flat is drug related.
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks, I'm back on it again. I've done that 4 or 5 times, this detox. And I think it was the 4th time, I decided, look, I'm going to go into rehab. Because when my head was so frazzled, I thought rehab was for everybody else, not me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm Duke. I don't do rehabs. I was like that.
Yeah.
Junkies do rehabs. I never even recognised I was a junkie.
Okay.
That's what my head was.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing, even, where do you want to go? I was so broken, I went anywhere. We went Bournemouth. I went, nah, don't want to go Bournemouth. We went, why? I went, there's too many boys from London in Bournemouth.
Right, okay.
Proper trigger me. And then he went Portsmouth. I went, yeah, sweet, I'll go Portsmouth.
Yeah.
And that's how the story began. I came to Portsmouth.
And how old were you when you came here?
I was 44.
Okay. So 44.
Done my last stint I'd done Belmarsh twice for my behaviours, and in the 90s I was in jail in the United States for my behaviours, but when I came back, 44, last stint in Belmarsh, then rehab. Okay.
So a couple of interesting points. I've got to go back to these now. So obviously that life led you to some prison time.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of years, how much time did you spend in prison?
Altogether, 3.
3 years? Mm-hmm. That's a long time.
Yeah,
it's a long time.
1 day is a long time, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, and when we talk about it, 3 years is a long time, because life is short, life is fragile, and it's something that I'm still learning through grief of losing my dad, how fragile life is and how short it is. Mm-hmm. So to lose 3 years, it's a long time.
Yeah.
I heard you say you spent some time in an American prison.
Yeah.
So tell me about how do you end up in America?
Okay, so I'd managed to meet my daughter's mum. And we had a flat. My dad had a flat that he moved out of and gave it to us. But myself and my daughter's mum, we were users.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were hardcore users. So all we done was use. So her mum said to her one day, look, you need to get away from Duke. So she bought her a ticket to go to America to be with her brother. And she went and left me on my own. But okay, so after 6 months, I was still pining for her. And I managed to get the money together to go to America. Gone to America to be with her. Flying halfway across the world thinking, what am I doing? And
you're still using at this point?
Still using.
So,
so I was flying there, withdrawing on the plane.
Yeah.
Absolutely banging trouble on the plane.
Yeah.
But I still had to go. And went. Then we lived together in an apartment. We struggled to get apartments because she's white and I'm black.
Okay.
And this was in Florida.
Right.
Florida's one of the last states to be rid of slavery, but there's still underlying currents of it there.
Yeah.
And then she was a lingerie model, earning loads of money. I was just sitting around lounging in the sun. And after a few months of it's boring. So I ended up getting a job. And how I got the job was the story. So there was a guy living next door to us in the apartment. I asked him if I could borrow his ID.
Mm-hmm.
He looks nothing like me, Dan. Right.
Okay.
So I applied for this job. Black guy.
Yeah.
Applied for the job. The lady didn't even look at the ID. She just went, photocopied it. Yeah, start Monday. And it was in a place like Amazon factory.
Yeah.
One of those kind of gaffs.
Yeah.
Early morning starts, early finishes. So, and even then at work, you had segregation within the canteen. You had the Hispanics in the corner, whites over there, blacks over there. Nobody mixed. And I was used to people mixing.
Yeah.
Nobody mixed. So one day, she would pick me up. But this day I couldn't get hold of her, so I decided to walk. And I was doing heavy lifting that day. I had one of those black Velcro belts on. Mm-hmm. And decided to walk. Now, you don't walk in Florida because it's too big. Okay. Everybody drives.
Yeah.
It's me, Englishman, walking, la, 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 la. Looking up, going, wow, look at the size of this. Wow, look at the size of that.
Yeah.
So I've taken the black belt off because it was so hot and I've rolled it up. It's about that big.
Yeah.
I've got it in my hand.
Okay.
Walking. Next thing, room. Police. Take one more move, N-word, and I'll shoot you in the back of the head. And I go, whoa, what's going on? Someone had reported that I was carrying a concealed weapon.
Okay.
Because the belt was black and I had it
Yeah.
in my hand. So somebody thought I was carrying a gun.
Yeah, and I'm assuming, you know, the Velcro belts that go round, once you roll them up, they do to a certain size and could be mistaken if you're driving past, I suppose, as a weapon.
Yeah. So they're scary. Police in the States are scary. Anyway, they got me on the floor, on my knees. Says, right, where's your ID? I thought, oh no, here we go.
Yeah.
Pulled my ID out and he's checked it. The person's name is William Mosey, right?
Yeah.
It says, it says here you're born in Hollywood. How comes you have an English accent? Because I was born in Hollywood, officer, and lived in the UK up until now.
So you're carrying the lie through with the ID?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he double-checked it, and it turns out that this guy, William Mosey, was wanted for a cocaine fleeing charge from the Bahamas.
Oh, no.
So they arrested me as him.
Okay.
I'm thinking, oh, my God. Nobody knows where I am.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Put me in the car. I'm thinking, what's going to happen now? So I said to the officer, what's going to happen now? He went, oh, you're going to jail. I went, what? Because you're going to jail. So I owned it in the car. I said, look, my name's not William Mosey. And he went, well, don't tell me, tell the judge. I'm thinking, oh, my God. So anyway, they put me to hold in, processed me, put me in this room full of about 50 other people. And some of these guys was terrifying.
Yeah.
So I was shaking the whole time I was there. Spent about 3 or 4 days in holding. And then on the 5th day, they've come in and called out my name, called out a few other people's names and said, right, come. I'm thinking I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So I'm walking through thinking, oh, this doesn't look like the way out.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone to the guy next to me. I said, what's going on? He went, we came to Stockade. I went, what's that? You're in jail. Legs just started to buckle.
Yeah.
Started to trip. And I was using crack cocaine quite heavily at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, oh my God. So I started to trip. So I said, what are we doing now then? He went, uniform change. So bright orange, ankle bracelets, waist bracelet.
Like you see in the films?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Shuffling on the bus.
Okay.
Couldn't believe it, Dan, that I was going to prison.
And you've not even been in front of a judge at this point?
No.
Nothing like that?
No. So I had a phone call, couldn't get hold of my girlfriend, got hold of my landlord, who luckily was from Croydon, South London.
Yeah.
He was going to come down and bail me out, but he never got there, so they carted me off.
So they still believe you're William Mosley at this point?
Yeah.
They've not even bothered to do any further checks, even though you're saying this?
No. The only time they checked was whilst I was in jail.
Okay.
So I was in a Stockade jail for about 3-4 months. Most terrifying experience. And that's when I think my mental health was just kicking in. Couldn't believe I was there. They were stealing my breakfast. But people getting stabbed and killed. And one guy put his arm around me and said, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm a little bit scared. He went, don't worry. And he saw that I could play chess.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I could teach him how to play chess. And I was like, okay, I can do that. So the 3 things that saved me was, 1, I taught him how to play chess.
Yeah.
2, he loved my accent.
Yeah.
And 3, he thought I was really funny. Okay. And those 3 things saved me. And he looked after me the few months I was in there. No one touched me whilst him and I were friends. I tried to look him up, but I just couldn't remember his name.
Yeah. So in comparison, American jail to the British jails?
Terrifying is the word.
Yeah.
Terrifying, yeah. These guys don't play.
Just a different level to here?
100% different level. Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't recommend it. These guys are killers. Yeah, I was banged up with lifers, and I was banged up with guys who are doing multiple life, who will never leave prison.
Yeah.
So a lifer would have a square.
Yeah. Multiple
life would have a triangle. If you saw a triangle coming towards you, disappear.
Yeah.
Because they'll abuse you where you stand.
No consequences left for them, is there, now?
The only places leaving, going to is a cemetery.
Yeah.
From there.
Yeah.
And they have cemeteries outside of some prisons.
Right, okay.
Yeah. 4 months, went to court. And even then, my girlfriend turned up with my passport. The judge looked at me and gone, white girl, black man. He went $1,000 before this man comes out of jail. I was like, what? Cut me back to jail. And then,
was that unusual then, for it to be a big bail or a big surety?
I don't know, to be honest. Normally you could bail somebody out from when they get arrested.
Yeah.
But it didn't come to me in time. But I think because of the fact that my girlfriend was white and I was black, they frown upon that.
Okay.
That's the only reason I think why he put me car on me back.
Okay, so they've taken you back because obviously £1,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they've taken you back to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And how much longer are you there?
About another 2 weeks, and then my girlfriend knew a police officer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then next thing I know, I was walking out.
Okay. Without paying the £1,000 that they were asking
Without
for?
paying the £1,000, yeah. So I don't know what went on, Dan, to be honest.
Yeah. And I'm sure you didn't care at that point. You just wanted to be out.
I just wanted to be out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't ask no questions.
So I'm sensing, obviously, the time spent in the American jail obviously would have changed you a little bit, and started maybe a process even without you realising. But you've also experiencing a whole new level of racism to the UK's version.
Yeah.
So what effect's that having on you as well?
To be fair, in America,
Yeah.
my girlfriend and I couldn't walk along the street unless we had. We could walk along the street, but in order to let people know that we weren't Americans, we had to wear Union Jack badges on our clothes sometimes.
Yeah.
And if my girlfriend was walking on the right side of me, cars would pull up thinking that she was a prostitute and I was the pimp. And I didn't know that. So we had to learn that she had to walk on the left side of me. But anywhere we went, until we opened our mouths, people go, "Oh, you're from England?" Yeah. Then they would give us the time of day. But if we didn't speak to you, they would just look at us as a black and white couple and just give you those racist looks. And yeah, I had some terrible times going in pubs and clubs, and some of the staff wouldn't serve me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to show my passport, and even then she was reluctant to serve me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was scary. It's not a place for me to live, honestly.
Yeah.
Back then anyway.
Yeah. Well, you'd hope the world is a lot more evolved now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you still see your fair share of racism.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that still plays into your lived experiences that you're teaching children in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite happy to say that my children have grown up in such a multicultural, diverse community that I think that we are changing things there.
Yeah.
The places we're not changing things is teaching people how to deal with the mental health, good, the bad, the positive, the negative, and where it can take you in life when it is down. Because if you don't recognise it, this is where we end up. We end up in places where we're doing other stuff to hide and mask.
Yeah.
And you've just told me this incredible story of a kid from 9 years old to into your 40s where you're masking because you just don't know how to deal with everything that you've seen in your life.
Yeah.
The abandonment issues, the violence, the complex traumas that come from that. So now we've got Duke in his 40s, had a stint in America, come back, carried on your life of drugs and crime when you've come back from America?
When I came back from America, Dan, I was like untouchable.
Because you've had that experience of being in prison. The ego there, is it?
Oh, it was top level ego. I thought I was a bad boy.
Yeah.
When I came back, because I'd done that experience in America, but that didn't last long. But I did continue to use.
What snapped you out of that? If you don't mind me asking, now of that, I've done this time in America. If I can do that, I'm untouchable in the UK. What snapped you out of that? What brought you back down to earth to realise, actually, I'm not this bad man?
At that time, I think I was with somebody else at the time. I think it was losing her.
Yeah.
Because I was living in her flat.
Okay.
Then I had nowhere to go. And then I was back to sofa surfing again.
Okay.
And I think it was at that point I thought, this can't carry on. This can't carry on. And I still didn't think there was anything wrong with me until I went to treatment.
Yeah.
That's when it all unfolded. But I think what had to happen was my girlfriend had to get rid of me, leave. And then that's when I realised, I'm not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
Because I haven't got everything that I need. I'm living at someone else's house as I'm making money. I've got nothing of my own.
Yeah.
To say anything, I own anything, just the clothes on my back.
Yeah.
Money in my pocket, that was it.
Okay. So you get into the rehab, and it brings you down to Portsmouth. And tell me about that experience. What was that like?
So I'd gone through the process at the services. I've had to go there every day and ring up. So the first day you telephone and you give them a drug history, what you're taking and how much you're taking, how much you're spending.
Yeah.
And then you have to do that every day until a bed comes up.
Do you know how much you were roughly spending?
Probably about £100 a day.
Okay.
Minimum.
Yeah.
£100 a day.
So you're having to fund that as well. Yeah.
£100 a day. So second day you go in, any beds? No. Seventh day I've gone in. This time I'm living in squalor.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, again, no beds. They went, yes, Duke, good news. We've got a bed for you. And all of a sudden I just folded in half. I was like, do I really want to go today? I'm getting my gyro tomorrow. You know, when it's like, why could there have been tomorrow? I was like that.
Yeah.
And I thought, nope.
So it really felt like you didn't want to tear yourself out of this life when...
So I did.
Yeah.
Because at that time I was on a chemical called Subutex.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And during that time I was having normal thoughts like, I can't do this life anymore. I need to get away from the drugs.
Yeah.
But the minute the help was there, I was like,
yeah.
Don't know.
And obviously explaining for people that don't know, Subutex is something they use, don't they, to wean you off of other substances, the illegal substances. You go and get your script every day from a chemist.
Yeah. And it's in tablet form.
You're only allowed so much.
Yeah.
But even then, that becomes a commodity that people trade.
Yes.
If you don't take it there and then in front of them, people have got ways of hiding it and taking it away.
Yeah.
So it becomes a commodity in itself, but it's supposed to help wean you off, isn't it?
Yeah.
So was it a case of sometimes in your head you thought, this is the right thing to do, this is the life I need to get away from, but then when they offer you that chance, it's like, I just want it to be tomorrow.
Yeah, that was exactly it.
Yeah.
Just want it to be tomorrow. I'll have a little bit of money on me then, and my head's going, maybe I could have a little use up.
Right, okay.
Before I go.
Yeah,
but
one last flourish.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the madness, though, Dan, was you wasn't allowed to use when you go and see them. They say you have to come there withdrawing.
Okay.
So I was like, what? Okay, so I done it, got the withdrawing. They check you.
Yeah.
See if you've got any drugs in your system. And if you have, they just turn you away straight away.
Right, okay.
So luckily I was withdrawing and they took me in. I'd done the detox. Same detox I'd done 4 or 5 times. And then from there I went to Portsmouth. I came to Portsmouth to do my rehab. And on the day of leaving the detox centre, it's a funny story, they give you a train ticket and some money.
Okay.
And you have to go on your own.
Yeah.
So you leave the detox centre, you got these tickets and some money to get a train to go to Portsmouth. So I've got to Waterloo, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have a cigarette. So I'm standing there outside and I'm looking and I can see a bus, and this bus will take me to the madness. Right?
Okay.
This bus will just take me straight to the madness. I'm on my own now, got a little bit of money.
Yeah.
So I'm having a cigarette and I'm looking at this bus. A little African man comes along and he goes, excuse me, you can't smoke there. And for a hot second I went, like, what are you talking about? I'm outside. He went, no, you can't smoke here, because I was, okay then. And I moved along. And when I moved along, I couldn't see the bus anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the train to Portsmouth. So if it wasn't for that African member of staff who actually said you couldn't stand there, I probably would have got the bus and gone to the madness and started using again. Yeah.
So there was a bus there taking you back to your old life.
Yeah.
Or there's the train to take you down to a new start, fresh start.
Yeah.
And it sometimes for me, it really is how the universe aligns, because you're not smoking in that one place. The guy doesn't come and speak to you.
Yeah.
There's a massive chance that you're on that bus and you and I aren't sat here having this conversation.
Yeah.
So sometimes I find that the universe brings us to the right place where we're supposed to be at the right time. So you come down and you're in your rehab centre now. How long are you in rehab for?
You do 3 months primary.
So that's living there.
Living there, getting used to everything else. Because the rehab at the time, they had their own houses.
Okay.
Some rehabs you live in.
Yeah.
But this one had their own houses dotted around.
And how was that as an experience, living in?
That was really good, because their ethos was, at that point, Dan, I really wanted it now. I thought, can't be doing this no more.
Mm-hmm.
So you live in the houses with 3 other addicts. Their ethos is mainly about healthy mind, healthy body.
Okay.
So they would pay for gym membership for you. And I think that was the hook,
Yeah.
the gym membership. And then do your courses or your training each day. So they would pick you up, bring you to the rehab. You do your courses during the day. Certain time of day, they will take you to the gym, do your workout.
Okay.
But you had free reign of your house. You might have a member of staff come in and check to see if you're all right every now and again.
Yeah.
But it was up to you to stay in the house. You got to do your cooking and your washing and whatever.
Yeah.
Learning those independent skills.
Yeah.
A lot of people flopped because they couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Because nobody was watching them. But I had nothing to go back to.
Okay.
So I couldn't afford to relapse.
Yeah.
And again, even then, I didn't think about my mental health.
Okay.
I didn't think there was anything wrong with me. I just needed to get the drugs out of my system.
Yeah. So is that what you thought? It was the drugs?
Yeah. Once I get the drugs out of my system, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until that I started CBT, solution-focused therapies,
Yeah.
ACT, something commitment therapy. Can't remember what the A means. But we were doing those every day, these courses, and counselling at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was only then that I realised, I was traumatised heavily and didn't even really realise all the stuff. I was crying in counselling sessions because all of this stuff that I'd depressed or
you suppressed it.
suppressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only came up when I wasn't using. So every time I was using, it was suppressed.
Pushed it back down. Yeah.
Till I stopped using, all of these feelings and things were just popping up, and I was crying in sessions and didn't realise this was going on for me, and my mental health was that bad, and because I didn't understand the brain, didn't want to.
No.
So I'd done 3 months, the 3 months of primary.
Yes.
And then you do 3 months of secondary, which is a bit more intense.
Okay.
Of coursework and counselling.
Still living independently.
Going to groups of an evening. You had to go to 3 groups.
Okay.
Every week. And if you don't, they just launch you just get kicked out. And if you get kicked out, you've got nowhere to go.
Right.
So I couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
So the more I went to the groups, the more I was meeting like-minded people like myself, and I made friends who are still good friends of mine today.
Okay.
Even 19 years in now.
Yeah.
And Portsmouth saved me, basically. And it made me understand my own mental health. That you do have mental health issues, because I didn't think I did. Because I'm Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why would Duke have mental health issues?
No.
So I understand it now. Then we had to do things like gratitudes, just be thankful and stuff like that, and make sure you do things. I went through the 12 steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just opened up so many things for me, and making me so aware of yourself, doing those steps. And that's what's made me into the person I am today.
Okay.
But I still look after my mental health with self-care is a big one. As I can see with you, self-care is a big one.
It is. It's massive.
Yeah.
Learning to love yourself is one of the most important things you can do.
Yeah.
I think for years, this is very similar to you, is that I hated me. It wasn't until I had that epiphany moment where I realised, if I don't love me, then who else can love me? Because all I'm portraying out into the world is this image of hatred of myself. So people are going to have that same feeling towards me.
Yeah.
And you get treated a lot differently. When you start loving yourself, everything is happy.
Yeah.
Everything opens, positivity.
Yeah.
You see doors that weren't there before.
Yeah.
But listening to your story, it's inspirational, and I can understand how it is such a benefit for you to be going to these schools and doing these talks and telling kids before they can make these mistakes. Of course, you have got to make mistakes yourself to learn. Sure. But if someone stands there and says, look, this is where I've been, you definitely don't want to go there.
Yeah.
If we can stop even 8 out of 10 that would have gone into that life, that's a result, isn't it? Yeah. That's the win.
Yeah.
But like I say, your story is inspirational. But some of the places you've been are, I'm sitting here, jaw open, thinking, I can't believe that. A prison in America, prison here. All these things that you've been through, being shot, stabbed, because of a lifestyle that you chose.
when you've started to love yourself and your life started to change and you've gone through your rehab, can you understand why some people can't do it, or when these emotions come flooding back because the drugs are gone? Was there ever a point for you where you thought, actually, I want to suppress this again and I want the drugs because that's a better choice than having to deal with these emotions?
Possibly early doors of rehab.
Yeah.
Probably within the first year of being clean.
Yeah.
Because I would, summertime, for instance, say, walk past pubs and you see people in beer gardens having a laugh.
Yeah.
And for a hot second, I think, oh, that beer looks really, really nice. I could do having a beer. And then I go, no, because I know exactly where it's going to take me.
Yeah.
So I've been out a few times. I've gone to pubs and people say, no, you want a drink? I go, yeah, I'll have an orange and lemonade. I go, no, have a beer, bruv, have a beer.
Yeah.
I have to go, no, I don't drink.
Uh-huh.
What, you can't even have one? I go, no, I can't even have one.
Mm.
But thanks for the orange and lemonade. But they can't understand it. But I think what I didn't have was that family unit of guidance and a role model to begin with.
Mm.
That's where I think a lot of it stemmed from. So a lot of my using stemmed from my behaviour stemmed from resentment. Because if you look at some other families, they will nurture their kids from minute one right through.
Yeah.
Yeah, some families. I didn't have that. Me and my brother didn't have that. We had no nurturing, no nothing. It was just pure resentment. And that's why I used, and that's why I was committing crimes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I came to treatment and realised this.
Mm.
Oh, okay. No one to guide me. Only me.
Yeah.
Lots of negative self-talk. No one to guide me. And that's where it took me. And now I try and portray that message within a lot of the assemblies that I do in the schools, because I think it's important that kids, there's kids who are loved go to school to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Kids who aren't go to school to be loved.
Mm.
I was that kids who weren't loved go to school to be loved.
Yeah.
That was me, because school was my safe place.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And the humans, we all seek validation, whether that's internally, externally.
Yeah.
We seek it from somewhere, and that's how we have our attachments and how we see it. And obviously, your start to life was not the same as some others, and it has taken you down a path. And thankfully, it's led you to a position where you can use that to help others. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the best thing as humans that we can do.
Yeah.
If we've had these lived experiences, to try and help shape other humans so they don't make the same mistakes or don't have to suffer the way that we have.
Yeah.
And I think massive congratulations to you, if there's no other way of putting it, really, for you to have turned your life around to this point, that you're sat here talking about it and using it in a positive way, because it's so easy, wouldn't it have been, to stay in your cycle of life?
Yeah, I probably would have been dead now. And because of what I've been doing, exactly what you've just said, a lot of people have recognised the work that I've been doing. A multi-award winner.
Yeah.
I won the Football Blacklist Award, which celebrates black excellence within grassroots football and a community. Mm-hmm. That's alongside Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Raheem Sterling, Mika Richards. I could reel them off.
Yeah.
They are also Football Blacklist Award winners for the work they do in football and out of football. So my name and their names are on the Premier League Wall of Honour within the Premier League for the work that we do.
Yeah.
And I've won EDI Awards, Equality, Diversity and Inclusion with Hampshire FA. Mm-hmm. I've won the Civic Award for the volunteering during COVID and the International Men's Day Award, Overcoming Adversity, that was 2024. And then yesterday, I've been nominated for an award with Shaping Portsmouth.
Okay.
For the work that I do in education. Been nominated, so...
Well, good luck for that one.
Yeah, thank you.
Again, it just shows where you are as a man and what you've done with your life, and to show to anybody, hope is something that we all need. Mm-hmm. And you've gone from this place and you've got to where you are now. Mm-hmm. And that story can give so many other people hope that they can get from where they are now, which is one of the reasons I wanted you on here, to talk about that, to talk about the fact that our mental health does push us to do things to suppress those feelings.
Yeah.
And one of them is, a good way of masking it is drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And that can lead us to down such a rabbit hole.
Mm.
And I'm glad to see that you've come out the other side of it. So what's the message now then? What would you say if you had young Duke sat in the chair where I am, 16 years old, what would your message be to him?
My message would be, stay away from negative peers and be the hardest working student in your classroom.
Yeah.
Or in your college. That's it.
Yeah.
So once you stay away from negative peers, you've got your own thing going on. Be the hardest working student in your university or your classroom, wherever it might be, and then doors will open.
Yeah.
Yeah? Once you start going left, it gets wobbly and messy. And it's about being focused. Everything is a process. Don't be in a rush.
Yeah.
To earn £1 million, there's a process to everything that we do.
Yeah.
And just take your time and believe in that process. And that's what I done. I believed in the process. Try and link up with supportive friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of my main ingredients since I've been in Portsmouth, is that I've got some beautiful friends around me. And we meet up and they give me so much support, because I couldn't have been where I am now on my own without my support network.
Yeah.
So if you've got a really good support network, use it.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a lot to be said for humans connecting with other humans.
Yeah.
We're
100%.
We're not built to live alone. COVID showed that.
Yeah.
We're not built. We're social creatures. We're built to interact, and that network is important. But you still got to do the work yourself.
Yeah.
You have got to commit to that. No one's going to come and wave a magic wand, are they, and say, "Here, Duke, you're okay again now." Yeah. So off you go. The drugs are gone, and you can go and live your life. You've got to put that hard work in, which you obviously have after years of struggles. You've put that work in and got to where you are, and it's not easy, is it?
No. And I mean, and then during that, all of this, you've got to be looking out for yourself. So I was a bit of a yes man. And I was burnt out after 2 years. I was burnt out because I kept on saying yes. And I wasn't putting the energy into me.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes.
Because I was giving all of my power to everybody else.
Yeah.
Except me. And then when it came to it, I was just smashed on the ground. A bit like when you see wheels that have been stolen off cars that have left on bricks.
Yeah.
Absolutely smashed. So I changed that, made a commitment to myself. At least once or twice a week, I will be going to the gym. Regardless of what's coming up, I will say no to that. Maybe we could do another day, because I need to be working on myself that day.
Yeah. And it is prioritising yourself. It's important. And that's part of that self-love package. Yeah. And I make sure I have time for myself every day.
Yeah.
Because it is part of loving yourself. Because when you, like you said, you pour your energy into other people's cups.
Yeah.
No one's pouring that energy back into you, so you're left depleted. So sometimes you've got to take restock and go, right, I'm going to look after Dan today. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. It's a bit of me time, whatever that may be. And I say to people when we talk about a positive, good mental health, you need time for yourself. You need to do something every day that makes you smile.
Yeah.
Even if it's only 10 minutes. A walk, read a book, listen to some music. Yeah. Whatever you do, go to the gym. Yeah. It is important to get the mental health on a balance with our physical health. It's the two are entwined. Yeah. And for so long, people have only ever thought about mental health being a bad thing.
Yes.
And this is why I do this show, is because we're showing that mental health is there every day.
Yeah, it's been around for years.
Yeah, we've always had it. It's not a new thing. It's a case of we're learning how to look after it. But still, everybody gets worried about mental health and mental health issues because we only talk about them when it goes wrong. Yeah. We should be saying, like, every day now, I wake up and I try to be positive every day because that improves my mental health, helps me make better decisions, opens more doors. But we don't. We talk about the negative side.
Yeah, because that's how we've been programmed, haven't we? We've been programmed to... There's a story that I say in one of my talks, is that we can go into a shop and buy a newspaper and on the front it'll be a negative image or story, right? Yeah. There was a paper, my mum told me, my mum lives in Yorkshire now, they had this paper that was good news and fluffy and flowers and all of that kind of stuff.
No one brought it.
No one bought it.
Yeah.
They'd rather go, 400 people dead in a plane crash, I'll buy that.
Yeah, we are so negative. And even it's when you talk about yourself, sometimes it's easier to pick out the negatives than it is the positives. We have got to retrain that because people think it's an ego thing, or it's not okay to be positive about yourself because it sounds arrogant. But love yourself, you know.
At least love yourself.
Yeah.
I try and practice, because every day I send one message, positive message, to 100 people.
Okay.
Every single day, apart from Saturday and Sunday. And I've been doing that for about 6-7 years. And a lot of the time, these people love them. They'll come back to me and go, "Drew, I needed to hear that today."
Yeah.
And just by doing that process, I mean, I've done it this morning. I think the one yesterday was, "Your energy is sacred. Protect it."
Yeah.
Sent it to 100 people. They came back, "Oh, yeah, I so needed to hear that today, Jim."
Yeah.
And that keeps me going. That keeps me grateful. That keeps me positive, because I read these messages at least 100 times.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'll read the same message before I go to sleep. So I'm just nice and calm. I make sure I get plenty of rest.
Yeah.
I make sure I'm not lastminute.com, because my anxiety levels just hit the roof. So for instance, when I'm at my daughter's and I need to get a train at 4 o'clock, my daughter will go, "Oh yeah, we'll leave at 10 to 4, Dad. It'll only take 6 minutes." I go, no. We'll leave at 3:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just in case traffic and all of that.
Yeah.
She goes, "Dad, will you be there early?" I go, "Yep, that's fine."
Yeah.
I'd rather get there 15 minutes early and just wait on the platform.
Yeah. I'm in that club.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can't do the lastminute.com thing. Really can't. So I practice giving myself time. Wake up early enough, not rushing around, going, sometimes you'll have a mad morning and think, "Oh my God, got to do this." But that's what I normally practice, and sit with myself for 5 minutes. I don't look at my phone. As soon as I get in now, I'll just drop my phone on the floor, and I'll go and do some work.
Yeah.
If the phone rings, it rings.
Yeah.
I try and give myself 5 minutes of silence each day. Sit for 5 minutes. It's quite hard. And then once the 5 minutes is up, because it slows my head down, because my head's like a committee going on, like, try and slow it down. And then once the 5 minutes are up, then I go and do what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's a good tip for everybody to have 5 minutes self-reflection, whether you want to call it meditation or self-reflection or just sitting in silence, whatever you want to call it. I don't think that's a bad thing for every human to do once a day, just to slow because we live at such a pace.
Yeah.
So these things are good to balance our mental health back out, because life is going to throw stuff at us that's going to trigger us, that's going to send us into a spiral.
Yeah.
It's about being able to recognise that, taking time for yourself, slowing it down and going back into the positives and looking at the good side of mental health again, saying, I need to have a good balance here because that's what makes my life better. Yeah. And once people understand that it's a yin and a yang, it is all about balance. Find things that work for you, because we could sit here and talk about stuff that works for each other. Yeah. And some people will take that on board and go, "Brilliant, that really works for me." And other people will go, "Oh, I can't do that." It is about what works for you as a human, because we are all different in terms of how we find relaxation, how we find that calmness, that inner peace. But some of the stuff you're saying there, great tips for people to go away and try. And I can see why they work, because I'm on board with you. Lastminute.com doesn't suit me. I need to be there, because otherwise I panic.
Yeah, same.
And that will send me into a spiral for the rest of the day. And it feels like world is rushing past, and sometimes you can't escape it. It is one of those things. Life is fast. But yeah, I'm in the same position as you. Reflection time is much needed to sort out some of those feelings, and process what's gone on, because it comes at us so fast. Yeah.
And you're receiving so much information every single day from all over the place. Yeah. And processing it. It's going to be difficult. So this is why we need to reflect on our day, say that it's okay. So I'll go home now, go in, and I'll sit down with a cup of tea in complete silence after today. Yeah. And then once I've done that, then I'll start work. Because I won't go home, open my laptop and just go, I'll process this podcast. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably process it on the way home. Yeah. I'll try and bring it down. And because each time I do a presentation, I have to go to sleep.
Takes a lot out.
It's draining. Yeah. And it's so draining.
And I feel that telling your life story over and over, it does take its toll, doesn't it? To relive it. Yeah. So
it really does.
And I do appreciate you for coming on and reliving that story for myself and for the people that are listening and watching this. It is hard. It is tough to talk about that. But on the balance, you're giving so many people such hope. Yeah. And that's, I commend you for that.
Yeah, thank you. If it helps somebody. Win-win.
Yeah, amazing. That's exactly how I feel about it. And all I can say is your story is inspirational, and I'm sure it will offer hope. And the fact that you're going round schools teaching this, you know, trying to point out the pitfalls of this lifestyle that people think are so good, that for me is amazing. And I thank you for that. Having kids myself, I thank you for doing that. And I really thank you for coming on, and I learned so much today. So thank you very much.
No, you're welcome, Dan. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. And that brings to a close another episode of Hello You. And if you really enjoyed listening to this today, please like it and share.
Thanks for being here, and thanks for being you. This was Hello You, where real conversations create real change. If today's episode moved you, challenged you, or simply made you feel seen, then share it, talk about it, and be part of the ripple. And remember, no matter where you are or what you're facing, you're never alone in this. We're building something together, and there's always room for you. I'm Dan Darwin, and until next time, be kind to your mind, be kind to yourself, and hello, you.